We ask members of the First Presidency to please arise. It is proposed that the First Presidency sustain Russell Marion Nelson as prophet, seer, and revelator, and President of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Those of the First Presidency in favor, please manifest it.
Travis, my good soul. So it turns out, Paul H. Dunn, that I just did the video about his comment and my reply to him, I resurrected from the grave to come to my video channel to ask about Joseph Smith translating the Joseph Smith translation. And he had replied to my reply while I was uploading the video and watching it because of YouTube's analytics. And he revealed that he was a deceiver. Imagine that, a Mormon deceiving people. He wasn't asking me. He was trying to prove me wrong by telling me. He was just not using full, complete sentences in his comments. And that's the same kind of trap that the wicked priests of Noah, King Noah, did to Abinadi. And they thought they were clever, and they thought they were smart, and they got him. They owned Abinadi, and then they burned him because Abinadi owned them. And so he apparently didn't get to watch my video reply, or at least he didn't catch on to the other parts that I talked about other than the Joseph Smith translation, because he was just focused on trying to prove me wrong, that I'm a deceiver, that the Joseph Smith translation of the Bible is a translation of what? What original document did Joseph Smith have to render the different translation of the Bible? Well, he had no, he didn't. He didn't have the brass plates. There were no brass plates, just the golden plates, which was the Book of Mormon. And so, no, dumbass. But these are the kinds of stupidity that comes from apologists. They use fallacious arguments. One of the Christians that I told you about that had come and made a comment trying to tell me that Jesus is real. It's the same argument as Mormons. You're both wrong. You see, learning of the Jews, you know for a fact it's not Jesus. But Jesus is in the text. You're wrong. He's in the text, therefore he's real. Flash came out today, both the movie and the final season. And yet, it's as if Mormons believe the Flash is real. That his powers of speed are real. And so how do you explain the famous movie actors playing the roles when you see them in other movies other than as their character from Flash? Oh no! Is this really too complicated for you guys? I mean, seriously, this is beyond stupidity. This is absurd to think that prophetic characters have to be real. And so let me use your manner of understanding to explain this to you. And I did give you an example in the translation video I just did for you. But we're going to use Jesus instead. So we start off with the beginning. Jesus creates heaven and earth. Then Jesus creates Jesus and Eve. Then Jesus and Eve create Cain and Jesus. Then Cain kills Jesus, murders him. And so Jesus and Eve have another son named Jesus. Starting to catch on now? No? You keep on going, huh? Okay. The descendant of Jesus is Jesus and the ark. And Jesus's 3 sons are Jesus, Japheth, and Ham. And so then after the flood, Jesus' descendant is Jesus, and he marries Sarai. And so Jesus and Sarai go to see Pharaoh, and Jesus tells his wife Sarai, tell them we're brother and sister. And then Sarai has Isaac, and so Jesus sacrifices Jesus. But Jesus still has a child, 2 child, Jesus and Esau. Do we keep on going here? Because there's Jesus and Delilah. And Isaiah's quote, a virgin shall conceive and give birth to Jesus. So yeah, you see what I did there? It's supposed to be Emmanuel in all of those places, because that's the name Isaiah gives. But the stories have a different name, because we see in Genesis specifically that those names have meaning, and the meaning has to do with the story that's being told. So it's a little different than the double consonants of superhero characters. Clark Kent, Peter Parker, for example. Bruce Bannon. Can't remember the Flash's name. Scarlet Speedster. That's the original one. So, but that's more of a title. Barry Allen. So they kind of blew it with the Flash. Could have been Barry Bonds. That would have been better. And so, when you go into the Book of Mormon, then it says the learning of the Jews. Guess what you do? You don't put Jesus. You put Emmanuel. It tells you to in the text, because it, plagiarizes Isaiah's words, and you name him Emmanuel. Notice that it does not plagiarize Matthew. It plagiarizes Isaiah. Now, why would that be important? Well, because Matthew, the redactor, screwed up with the interpretation. God with us, please. It's the Egyptian sun god at noonday. Even the Book of Mormon tells you that. Even Joseph Smith tells you that. And so, yes, it's not Nephi. It's not Jesus either. It's Emmanuel. It's not Lehi. It's Emmanuel. You just keep on going. The hero of the story is Emmanuel, but they call him by different names. And so Nephi, what does Nephi say that he is? He says, this is my reign and ministry. Reign is for kingship. Ministry is for high priesthood. King, high priest, Melchizedek. Emmanuel, Amen, from Paleo-Hebrew. An acronym. And so, yeah, who appears to Joseph Smith? Father and Son, Amen. Who appears in the second vision? Amen, the sun at noonday. And he calls himself Nephi. Why? Because Nephi is Emmanuel, the king and high priest. It's a book about his reign and ministry. And so, yes, that's why Joseph is doing that for us. He's trying to help us understand and learn the learning of the Jews. But he's got people trying to murder him. So we can't come out and say, hey, on 9/11, 2023, this evil group will have taken over the whole United States and my church, having murdered me, and will murder you. With the burning, as they're using the Bible to coordinate their attacks and destroy you. It is not complicated. And yet, you now see how the Bible has been turned into a stumbling block, and thus Joseph's Book of Mormon and his works into a stumbling block for Mormons. So I had the one Christian, dear God, intelligent design? That's already been debunked as a fallacy argument. You can't use it. And there's still Christians using it. No, that's the philosophies of man. We don't believe in that. So yeah, you believe in superheroes. Constantine tells you in the Nicene Creed, that Joseph Smith calls an abomination, that Jesus is not real. He makes up a new word that has no meaning other than not real. Homoousion, dear God, not complicated. Cut it out. You're about to die. Leave me alone. Somebody come pick me up and save me from this church that's going to burn us.